All right, Mr. Gheorghiu, so you play here against Donner,
Donner
which
was
is who is
Donner was in that time the best Dutch player, the best grandmaster from Holland, and finally later on they had their super grandmaster Tiemand. He came a little bit later on, but Donner in that time he was also very strong, and a few years later I had some problems with him. No, a few years before, let's say.
earlier. Okay.
Yeah, I had some troubles with him because I lost the game to Donner, and that almost cost me my grandmaster non
Oh,
during the Olympic game.
he was older than you?
Yeah, much older.
Much older,
So
okay.
10 years, 12 years difference like this. But he was a very strong
So
grandmaster.
more experience, he had more
More
experience.
experience and very good one, of course. In that time, he was between the first 10, 12 in the world. Like
okay.
this, yeah.
In the top.
So the game is very interesting because he tries to show me and to the spectators that white can choose a line where he accepts a pawn sacrifice from black. He takes the pawn, and if he keeps the pawn, the game is okay for white.
Yeah.
But black has always the initiative, and you'll see, very strong initiative.
So he plays with white?
He plays with white against the Grunfeld. This is the game. This is the so-called Grunfeld opening. It's not King's Indian. It's with d5 is always Grunfeld. And now taking in b8 is a little bit unclear, but yeah. But it's not forced. White he doesn't have to take in c8.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the best move after c5 is to take in c5, and black has the initiative, but it's not clear at all what happens. There are a lot of games and a lot of analysis and so on. This is very risky for white to take the pawn. He took the pawn. Okay. And now check, and white wins a pawn. Okay. He wins a pawn, and now black...
That's the idea, to take the knight in order to take the pawn?
To take the pawn. And now black has to do something very quickly and has to show his opponent that he has enough for one or for two pawns. Black will give another pawn for a very strong initiative. You see, everything is forced now in the opening. You see. Okay, now castle. Now, what can he do? He has to take in d5. Because if he plays, for instance, instead of taking in d5, let's say, the pawn is still in d4, in c4. Okay, he plays knight f3, for instance.
Yes.
After knight f3, after knight e4, white is already lost.
Why?
What can he play? If he takes in d5, with the queen.
Yes.
The queen is under attack.
Yes.
After knight takes c3, you can resign immediately. You lose a rook. Or a piece. Finished in one move. This is too much, of course. Yeah. So he has to take first. He has to take the second pawn. Okay. So now after queen a5, queen d2 is forced again because the black threat was already knight takes d5. Again, finished. In one move. So queen d2, now you cannot take immediately in d5 because you give too much. You give a piece. So b5. Everything with tempo. Bishop d3 is forced again. Coming from here, black takes back one pawn and continues to have a very strong initiative. Probably the game is already very difficult for white, if not lost, for instance, by force. So queen takes d5. Knight f3, and now very strong e5. Rook d8, rook d8, castle, and now e5. Now what can he do? The threat is already e4 and wins a piece. Yeah. So he has to give back the second pawn and to hope that the game is more or less even somehow,
So return the pawn?
No, he has to give back. Now I took there, he took back, and I took in e4. Now everything is clear. We took back our pawns,
Yeah.
He has two knights, very passive knights, and we have two fantastic bishops, the bishop from d7 and the bishop from g7 in such an open position, terrible. White is hopeless, in my opinion. And we'll see how and why. Knight g3, the only hope, If he can put somehow the rook e1 and the rook d1, maybe he can save the game. But it's already too late. And we'll see
here you offer to double the pawns?
Yeah, I offer to double the pawn, but we force the pawn from b2. That is completely winning. If he takes in f4. He takes in f4, he takes in f4, knight e2 or knight e4, and bishop takes b2, finished. Black wins, Pawn up and two bishops, and the big pawn will queen later on, So, rook of d1, the only hope, So, okay, we take. He takes, bishop c6, rook e2. It seems that still all right. I mean, he needs one tempo. Even now we can take in f3, but it's not enough. We are much better, but it's probably not enough. But we have another very strong move, which is much stronger, probably decisive. We'll see. f5. Now, if he takes in e5, we have two very active bishops, and he'll be more or less in Zugzwang again.
So he took actually.
He took actually, and now bishop b5, forced. He has to go back, otherwise he loses a piece.
Yes.
Yeah, and now f4. Now again, the knight has to go back, because in e4 he loses the knight from e5.
True.
Yeah. What can he do? Only in f1, no? Okay. And now rook d5. Again, we attack the knight, we have to go back. But where? Only in f3, because if you go in g4, you lose the knight after h5.
Yeah, they only withdraw.
Yeah, and now, okay, now we took in b2, the game is over, because, look at the two bishops. The bishops are fantastic, they dominate all over the world, the board. So, well, he tries to play active, but it's much too late. Okay. So, all right. He has an active rook, but it's much too late. And now he gives the exchange, trying to have some counterplay, but there's nothing to do. I mean, okay, you take, and bishop e2, Zugzwang again, nothing to do. We threaten rook d1, and we win mate, or we win another piece.
Yes.
So, what can he do? The only move, h4, to have time to come with the knight in h2, otherwise he loses the whole knight, in f1.
Yeah.
h4, okay, rook d1, the other knight there, but look at the position. It's very, very bad for white, no? And now simple rook a1, and the threat is to double and mate also, He resigned, of course.
He resigned, yes.
Yeah. Very nice position, no? Very nice game. Demonstration, initiative, much stronger than the pawn. I mean, it was much too risky to take the pawn in b8 and in a7. Bad variation for white. But you have to show it, why, And the game is very clear, why,
Yeah, you recover the pawns, and then...
not only this, if you recover the pawn, it's very little, but you recover in such a position the pawns,
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything is forced and completely lost for white, Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful game, yes. Very good demonstration, the initiative, as always, If you have such a strong initiative, it's much more important than one pawn or even two pawns.
And the power of the two bishops
on
an open table.
But the difference was very clear. The knights, look at the knights. It's sad, the knight h2, f1. Even if you don't lose the knight, but it's very sad, And the two bishops who control everything. You see, the bishop from g7, the bishop from b5. The two rooks, they don't have any power, the white rooks. He is a spectator. The whole game, white was spectator,
Yeah.
Black was playing and white was,
watching
to see what happens. You see?
True.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
Yeah, this is chess,
Beauty chess.
It was more beautiful than now with the computer, no?
Yes, romance.
Yeah.
The time of romance.
It was different, it was different.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.